everyone, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Chill with Will. I'm Will, and I hope you guys have been having a good week. My week has been pretty good. I finished recording last week's episode last night, and I'm recording this week's. It's the night before my flight, basically, to New York. So by the time you guys are actually watching this episode, I will have been in New York for a week. So, yeah. So anyway, because of this trip, I have just been kind of scatterbrained and mixed in with the current news cycle. I've just been very indecisive on podcast topics. So what I've decided to do for tonight's episode, we're going to do kind of a variety night here at Friday Night Chill. I have a random topic generator pulled up, and I will be cycling through the generator, and I'll be doing that. I'm thinking maybe 20 questions. I have it set on topics for essays, so the questions will vary in their intricacies and like how detailed like the answers will be, and I just thought it'd be like a fun thing to do for tonight because I am just kind of scatterbrained with this whole trip. I'm packed and everything, but I want to make sure I have everything ready, and I need to finish getting these podcast episodes done. And I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for another week because season 2's already been kind of weird. So this is what we're going to do. I figure it would be kind of a good way to get to know me a little bit if you are starting the show with season 2 and you're not too familiar with me. This will give you sort of an idea of, I guess, the type of person I am, depending on what these questions are. But yeah, that's what this week's episode is going to be, so I hope you all will enjoy it. We're going to get into it. I will leave a link to the website I'm using in the description, but I will not be sharing the screen from the website in the video version of the podcast because that is a lot of work that I just do not want to do. So I need to edit this episode quickly, and that will not make the process quick. So here we go. I got the website pulled up, and we're gonna refresh for our first topic. So the first question was, what was, in parentheses, is your favorite subject? And I'm assuming it's referring to school. When I was in school, my favorite subject, a lot of my favorite subjects in school were stuff that was sort of media related. In high school, I was in yearbook all 4 years because yearbook was a dedicated class that was in charge of putting the yearbook together. And that's kind of where I learned Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, all those programs. And yeah, that was my favorite thing because it kind of, I mean, it's the thing that I've carried over into my adult life that I use pretty frequently. I still use photo editing software and all that other stuff and design software. So yeah, that was like the stuff I enjoyed when I was like a kid. I honestly, school for me was hard. Like it always was hard. Like it was hard for me to focus on stuff. Math, I sucked at. I guess English was perfectly fine. I think I had the ability to do really well in English, but I just didn't have a lot of drive when it came to school. So, okay, and next question is, how has technology changed the music industry? Well, I think technology has definitely made it more accessible, like pretty much it has for just about every industry. However, I do think the music industry in particular, just like with most art forms, is kind of at the mercy of AI generated stuff right now. And that is just unfortunate because AI, in the manner that we are familiar with it right now, is awful and doesn't really serve any purpose other than to make rich people richer and keep artists from getting the money they deserve. So I think technology has had a positive influence on music, but there are definitely aspects to technology that I think are kind of ruining it. And when I think about it, technology, we stream music now, and I think it's weird to think about a time where that wasn't what we did. Because I was pretty much using an MP3 player with different stuff on it up until I was 20, maybe 19, or actually maybe I think Spotify came out in 2010. Maybe I was still in high school when I had my free Spotify account. And it's just weird to think that there was a time where people had specifically curated collections of music. It wasn't just everyone had access to every song ever. That you had to go out and actually specifically kind of cultivate your own playlists and tastes. And I feel while it's cool for accessibility that people have access to so much music, I think you kind of lose a sense of personal individualism from people, because they kind of can follow samey trends as their friends and stuff, especially with computer algorithms and all that stuff. It definitely has a tendency to push certain types of music at different times. So yeah, that definitely is an aspect that I think about and have definitely been reflecting on recently, especially with the streaming model just kind of being what it is for TV and film. And it's very much the same thing for music, and has been arguably worse because Spotify has been not making money for a very long time. So, what flavor of ice cream do you wish existed? I don't think there isn't something that I could even dream of that doesn't already exist in some form of ice cream. These days I'm very into coffee flavored ice creams. So I guess if it's a certain type of coffee, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know, there's so many different types of ice cream now. I feel anything I could think of or say right now probably exists somewhere. Okay, to avoid not answering the question, I think what I will say is I wish Dutch Bros made a line of ice cream based off some of their signature drinks. I usually get a kicker from there. It's an Irish cream brev. So yeah, if they ever made that, if Dutch Bros was ever hey, let's make a line of ice cream, that's the kind I would want. All right, next one is, do you like documentaries? Why or why not? I don't mind a documentary, but I have to be in a very specific mood to watch a documentary, because I feel I have to be very attentive, because it is sort of information in a way. Even for non-serious topics, I, for whatever reason, just feel I need to be more attentive to that type of media specifically. It's hard in general for me to watch new things, whether it be documentaries or not, just because it's hard for me to pay attention. Next question is, how has the education you received changed your life? I mean, my education has definitely helped in this aspect of what I do now, in terms of using software and stuff. I feel my time in school kind of brought us up to be very computer literate at an appropriate age. Right now, nowadays, I feel kids learn about technology a little bit too early, and being, I'm 31, so when I started learning about computer stuff was probably like 5th or 6th grade. And when I was in 5th or 6th grade, we weren't doing anything serious. We were playing freaking Oregon Trail and a bunch of other stuff in the computer lab for like 30 minutes. But I think like the little steps like that in becoming computer literate was very important. And I think it is a very important part of education that we should be teaching kids, but I definitely feel like we need to kind of like pull the reins back on how early we introduce technology into kids' lives. Like, I don't know. I still think it's weird that kids are walking around with like tablets and stuff, and I don't know. I feel like it'd be so much better giving them like tangible things for kind of as long as possible. But I also understand the sort of benefit of using tablets and stuff because there's some more like accessibility and stuff, and it makes certain things a little bit easier. But yeah, I think specifically with me, and I think my education created a sort of healthy balance of when to use technology and when not to use technology. Next one is, what's the worst movie you have seen recently? I can't even remember I think the last movie I saw was the Digimon movie, the 02 movie that came out in, I think, November. I went to go see that in theaters. That was a good movie. I liked it. It was creepy, but it was a good movie. And then I think after that, I saw Godzilla -1 finally when it came out on Netflix about a month ago, and it wasn't bad, but it was an okay movie. I'm not that big a Godzilla fan. Contrary to my obsession, with tokusatsu related franchises, yeah, Godzilla is just kind of not my tea. Yeah, I haven't really seen too many bad things recently. I guess we'll pivot it to TV shows because I'm in the middle of rewatching Transformers Armada right now because it's being uploaded onto YouTube on the Transformers YouTube channel. And I can remember a lot of people going on and on about Armada because like for a lot of Gen Z kids, it's their first Transformers series. And I remember it being pretty cool when I was growing up. I thought like the animation style looked cool. Like all the designs looked great. But rewatching this, I'm like 13 episodes in, and I don't feel like it's very impressive at all. I'm also simultaneously watching the 2001 Robots in Disguise show that was on Fox Kids. That was airing to fill the gap while they finished animating Armada. And I feel like Robots in Disguise is a better show because I feel like I'm the same amount of time in. And yeah, Robots in Disguise just seems to have more personality than Armada does. So yeah, it's not very good. Okay, next one is, which app has helped society the most and which one has hurt society the most? I feel like in terms of the ones that have helped society the most, I would say maybe YouTube has helped society the most because it has provided a platform for people who pretty much otherwise would not have. And I struggle to think about what the entertainment industry today might look like if influencers and like online content creators hadn't ever really happened. Like, would there be as much diversity as we're seeing nowadays if like YouTubers didn't exist? And I don't think there would be. I don't think there would be. I think it would have been a longer slog to get the diversity that people wanted in media. Because even with the introduction of YouTubers into like the zeitgeist and all that stuff, there's still like an aversion to it. You know what I mean? So I think YouTube has definitely helped a lot, and it's definitely helped people do very mundane tasks, just kind of being able to Google or YouTube a quick video on it and just kind of see how someone else does it. And, kind of it has allowed people to become kind of self-sufficient in certain aspects. In terms of ones that have like hurt society the most, I think up until recently, Twitter has like definitely done a lot of damage to just kind of. I think Facebook and Twitter have kind of collectively really damaged the way we interact with other humans on the internet and the way we kind of like treat people and talk to people, especially people who disagree on certain things with us. And I'm not even talking about like drastically different things. Like I'm not saying like people who are racist against people who are not racist. That's like, I'm just thinking about like people who have like a different opinion about like Transformers or The Simpsons or like something about like a TV show, like a difference in opinion on like something so trivial is met with so much like rage now. And I definitely think a lot of that is Facebook and Twitter's fault. Mostly the people in charge of those things, because they had opportunities to sort of course correct and create more friendly environments where things don't have to be as divisive. But they've chosen not to do that because it's easier to sell shit and to make people angry. So that's just kind of what they bank on. So yeah, YouTube I think has helped the most, and then Facebook and Twitter kind of fucked everyone over. So that's great. All right, next one is, what would be your perfect weekend? Perfect weekend. Okay, let's say perfect weekend. It's 75 degrees all weekend. I go out to the coffee shop in the morning, get a nice little iced latte. Nice 20 ounces. Maybe like a horchata cold brew or something. That sounds fun. It's nice and sweet. And I'm up pretty early. So, you know what? Let's go to the beach. And you know what? Let's go to the pier. Let's just sort of people watch for a bit and, just kind of enjoy the coastal breeze. So go there for a few hours, enjoy that, take that in. And then sort of get lunch. Maybe get sushi. Sushi's always pretty good for lunch. Maybe preferably a place by the beach. That would be very nice. A nice little view of the ocean while you're eating the inhabitants of it. Yeah. And do that. Maybe walk around the pier a little bit more. Check out some surf shops or whatever. And forget to put on sunscreen. And go home with the biggest sunburn you have and spend that following Sunday writhing in pain in your bed. So, that sounds great. Next is, how often do you go to the library? I don't go nearly as often as I should. I think more people could stand to go to the libraries. I think we should all be supporting our local libraries, especially nowadays. I feel like they have a lot of very good resources for everyone. But yeah. Last time I went to the library was probably the beginning of the year. We went to the closest one, and we were just kind of like browsing, because I was just like kind of curious, because I hadn't been in a library in years, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me see what the library's got going on, and they had some stuff. They had some stuff going on, so yeah, definitely should make more moves to do that more often. Okay, next one is, did your family take seasonal vacations? We really didn't. Vacations were just kind of sporadic, and a lot of vacations were usually tied to like a family thing. So like someone was getting married, or it was like someone's anniversary. It was like my grandparents' anniversary or something. Usually that's what vacations amounted to. A lot of it was just weddings and stuff. And this will be the last one for tonight. I was thinking about doing 20, but we're already 20 minutes in, and I'm at 10. So we're gonna end it here with this last one. Last one is, what weird or useless talent do you have? I suppose useless talent would be my encyclopedic knowledge of this fucking kids franchise right here. It's at the back of me, the Power Rangers. The encyclopedic knowledge I have for that, for no fucking reason. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help pay my rent. It doesn't help do anything other than, create YouTube videos for a time back in the day. But yeah, I suppose that is sort of a useless talent. Anything besides that? No, I don't. I can't really think of anything that I can do that is particularly fascinating that other people cannot do. So, yeah, I suppose that encyclopedic knowledge, because like, guys, I'm not kidding you. Like, it's just everything. It's just like, it's in my head. All the, like, even if I haven't seen something from it in years, I can tell you everything about this one thing, and it's just, it's wild. What the wildest part for that is, like, when you're going through like an eBay listing, right? Because I was doing the collecting thing for years, and when you're going through eBay, you're going through like Power Ranger lots of like toys and stuff, like bins of just people's collection or their childhood stuff that they're just kind of letting go, and there's just like scattered pieces of things, and like I can like go through that, like I can go through that entire bin and tell you exactly what piece this little indiscriminate looking silver piece is for. It's just a shape. It doesn't have any markings on it or anything. It's just like some weird silver polygon, but I can tell you exactly what piece, what Megazord it belongs to, or what figure it belongs to, and I don't know who that helps. That doesn't help anyone. That doesn't do anything. So, yeah. There's 10 little things about me. There's 10 little questions that I got answered for you all. And that's just going to be what this week's episode was. So we'll be back hopefully with a more normal episode next week when I come back from my trip. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little venture. This was actually kind of fun. We might do another episode like this just because it's kind of like it was kind of like a little brainstorming session that we did out loud. I think that's fun. So anyway, if you did like this episode, go ahead and leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are on the YouTube channel for new episodes that I post every Friday. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and rate or review the podcast. That would be very much appreciated. And if you would like to keep up with me on what I got going on, you can find me anywhere on the internet at Willie J. Co. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in tonight, you guys. And I will see you next week for another Friday Night Chill.